Nothing's necessary, so let them fumble about outside and stay calm. This is simply the beginning. I thought I told all of you I want radio silence until further...
I'm very sorry, Hans. I didn't get that message. Maybe you should have put it on the bulletin board.
Die Hard nearly starred Frank Sinatra at 73 years old. The man who became its hero, Bruce Willis, wasn't even in the original plan. Its director turned it down more than once, and one of the movie's biggest scenes contains a flop that many still laugh at today. Everyone thought Die Hard should have failed. Instead, it changed action movies forever and became one of the greatest blockbusters of all time. Now we're revealing 21 weird facts nobody ever told you. So, before the countdown starts, here's the question. Is Die Hard really the greatest action movie ever made, or just the luckiest? Drop your answer in the comment section below. Now, join us as we uncover the wild facts behind Die Hard that will completely change how you see it. Number 21. Bruce Willis was not the first choice. The lead actor in any movie is carefully chosen, since the entire film is literally built around him. But Bruce Willis wasn't just an unlikely choice for John McClane. He was the last resort. Producers preferred action stars like Stallone, Schwarzenegger, and Chuck Norris, guys who looked like they bench-pressed small cars for cardio. So, when Fox needed a hero for Die Hard, they went straight to the obvious names. Arnold and all the others passed. Even Clint Eastwood turned it down. Then someone floated the idea of the wisecracking TV guy from Moonlighting, Bruce Willis. The studio wasn't interested. He was only a romantic comedy actor after all. But they were running out of options, so they took a gamble. Casting Bruce ended up changing everything. The choice that seemed like a gamble turned out to be one of the best casting decisions in the history of action movies. Even though he was not the first choice, Bruce Willis turned Die Hard into a career-defining moment. And guess what he got from it? Number 20. Record-breaking paycheck. For the role of John McClane, producers paid Bruce $5 million, a figure that shocked the film industry. At the time, most major stars earned between $2 and $3 million per movie. Willis's paycheck became a turning point in how movies were financed. Budgets began to grow quickly, and high salaries for leading actors soon became the norm. $5 million may not seem huge in the film world today, but back then, it was a game changer. Willis's deal opened the door to a new era of blockbuster salaries and bigger movie budgets. But did you know someone way older almost played John McClane? Number 19. Die Hard has ties to a novel and Frank Sinatra. The first book in the series that later birthed Die Hard was made into a movie in 1968 called The Detective. Frank Sinatra played the lead role in that earlier film. Because of this, and due to a clause in his contract, producers had to offer Sinatra the lead role in Die Hard when it was being made. At the time, Sinatra was in his 70s, so he turned down the role of John McClane, went to Bruce Willis, and the rest is history. Although Sinatra did not take the role, his link to the original story played a small but essential part in how Die Hard came to be. The show, however, got its inspiration from somewhere unrelated. Number 18. The storytelling was from Shakespeare. The idea for the movie did not start in the original script. While thinking about the film's pacing, John McTiernan remembered the piece, A Midsummer Night's Dream. That play takes place over the course of one night and uses time to build tension and momentum. John McTiernan liked that idea and decided to apply the same structure to Die Hard. By shrinking the story into one single day, he gave the film a sense of urgency and focus that helped it stand out. The result is a story that feels non-stop, with no wasted moments. It is rare for an action film to take notes from classic literature, but John McTiernan's choice paid off. His idea of the character differed from what the movie showed. Number 17. John McClane was not meant to be the underdog. One reason Die Hard felt so fresh as an action movie was its main character. John McClane was not a super soldier. He was just a regular guy trying to survive a dire situation. But that version of him was not part of the original plan. In early drafts of the script, he was written as a confident New York cop who always had the right answer. When Bruce Willis was cast and filming began, both he and director John McTiernan decided to take a different approach. They shaped him into a more vulnerable and sarcastic character who used humor to get through danger. That change helped define a new kind of action hero, flawed, funny, and human. It made a lasting impact. Another change that made an impact was the villain's call. Number 16. Sam Neill was the first choice. Just like they did for the main character, While searching for the proper villain in Die Hard, producers first looked to a well-known actor. They sought someone with experience and star power to match John McClane's hero status. Sam Neill was the first person they asked to play Hans Gruber. However, he turned down the part. This left the filmmakers without their top choice, forcing them to look elsewhere for the perfect villain. Soon after, director John McTiernan saw Alan Rickman performing on the English stage. Alan was not a big movie star, but he impressed the director with his presence and talent. They cast Alan as Hans Gruber, and his performance quickly became legendary. His role in Die Hard is now one of the most memorable villain performances in film history. If Sam had accepted, the film might have been very different, but Alan Rickman had serious challenges to adapt to. Number 15. Alan Rickman struggled with gunfire. Alan Rickman had years of stage experience before filming Die Hard, but nothing on stage prepared him for action scenes filled with gunfire. Acting on a movie set was already a big change for him. Every time blanks were fired during a scene, the loud, sudden effects were utterly new to him. Director John had to work around this issue in editing. He carefully cut scenes to hide Rickman's reactions. Still, one moment slipped through. You can catch Alan flinching for just a second during the scene where Hans Gruber shoots Takagi for refusing to give up the vault code. It is a small detail, but it shows how different the world of action films was for Rickman. Despite his discomfort, he still delivered a performance that helped make Die Hard a classic. Alan's challenges went behind the gunfire, though. Number 14. American accent caused problems. Alan Rickman's character, Hans Gruber, pretends to be a hostage by slipping into an American accent during one key scene in Die Hard. However, director John McTiernan was never happy with Rickman's American accent. He said he could still hear Alan's English accent and was never quite happy with the way he delivered the scene. He shot it 3 times, trying to make him sound more American. Alan had enormous verbal skills, but he had trouble getting the American accent. The director wanted the accent to be stronger, but Rickman found it challenging to achieve. In the final film, fans can still catch a hint of Rickman's English accent, even when Gruber is pretending to be American. Not only was he having trouble with the American accent, but his German was a problem as well. Number 13. Fake German. You probably already expected this one. Alan Rickman and his men spoke fake German. The filmmakers incorporated a few authentic German words into the dialogue here and there. This made the lines sound somewhat authentic to American audiences, but they were not original. Anyone that watched the German-dubbed version of Die Hard will notice a significant change. This change was made to prevent embarrassment from having actors speak fake German. The filmmakers wanted to save face with German audiences and not be caught using fake language on screen. So, while the villains sound German on the surface, their language is mostly made up. It is just another interesting behind-the-scenes detail that shows how Die Hard balanced entertainment with creative license. Not everything in a movie is scripted, just like Bruce's fall. Number 12. The fall down the vent was real. One of the most tense moments in Die Hard is when John McClane uses the strap from his gun to rappel down a ventilation shaft. He is trying to escape from 2 of Hans Gruber's henchmen. The scene gets even more intense when the strap slips off the gun, causing John to fall just as he reaches for a vent to climb to safety. Usually, action scenes like this are carefully planned and rehearsed, so any accidents are just part of the trick. But not this one. It was an honest mistake that happened on set. The stuntman was supposed to grab the first vent and keep climbing. Instead, he missed the vent and fell a reasonable distance before catching himself. John McTiernan decided to keep the fall in the movie. The fall was real, but Alan's own fall was even worse. Number 11. Alan Rickman's reaction was real. Hans Gruber needed a dramatic ending in Die Hard, and director John McTiernan planned a big stunt for him. Alan Rickman volunteered to do the stunt himself. His acting during the fall looks incredibly real, and there is a good reason for that. John McTiernan told Alan he would be dropped onto a safety mat at the count of 3, but instead of waiting for 3, he dropped him at the count of 2 without telling him. The surprise caused Alan to react naturally. He fell nearly 70 feet during the stunt. The shot in the movie is the very first take. His look of shock and fear is completely genuine, not acted. It made the final scene really intense and made Gruber's death unforgettable. You know what else is unforgettable? Bruce hearing loss. Number 10. Bruce Willis lost his hearing. Bruce Willis gained serious fame and a hefty paycheck from his role in Die Hard, but the loud gunfire caused unexpected problems for him. Even though the guns fired blanks, director John McTiernan had specially made blanks that were much louder than usual. After filming the scene where Bruce shoots one of Hans Gruber's men while hiding under a table, Bruce noticed he had trouble hearing. It was later confirmed that he suffered partial hearing loss in one ear because of the loud noise. Bruce still deals with hearing issues from that time, years after the movie was made. If the bearing hiding did happen, what about the leg injuries? Number 9. Bruce Willis. Entire look was carefully planned. One of Die Hard's most unforgettable moments is when John McClane runs through broken glass without shoes. Later, he painfully picks glass shards from his bare feet in the bathroom. That scene made audiences cringe when the movie came out in 1988. To keep Bruce Willis safe during those scenes, he actually wore rubber foot covers that looked like socks. These rubber props let him walk through broken glass without hurting his real feet. Bruce also wore the same foot covers during other action scenes where his character had to run around barefoot for a long time. And then there's the tank top, the most famous undershirt in action movie history. It didn't start out brown, filthy, and soaked in blood. It became that over the course of filming. The wardrobe team kept multiple copies, each dirtier and more beat up than the last, so John McClane's misery could escalate scene by scene. By the end, it looked like it had survived its own hostage situation even with the rubber feet. Those barefoot scenes remain some of the most intense and memorable moments in Die Hard. But have you ever wondered how the most famous one-liner in an action movie came to be? Number 8. Bruce Willis's famous ad-lib. Ask any Die Hard fan about the movie's most iconic line, and you will hear one answer: "Yippee-ki-yay." This line became a fan favorite. It has since become a signature phrase for the entire franchise, but the story behind it is surprising. After John McClane kills some of Hans Gruber's men, he radios in and surprises the villain. Gruber mocks him for being a reckless cowboy, and John McClane fires back with his now famous line. Bruce Willis later revealed that he did not expect the line to stay in the movie. He admitted that the phrase was an ad-lib made up on the spot to make the crew laugh. Interestingly, this comical moment became one of the most memorable and quoted lines in action movie history. But the line is only part of the story. The setting itself was just as real. Number 7. Nakatomi Plaza is real. The famous Nakatomi Plaza from Die Hard is not a movie set or digital creation. It is a real building called Fox Plaza located in Los Angeles. The filmmakers used it as the central location for the movie's action-packed scenes. At the time of filming, Fox Plaza was still being built, and that worked in the film's favor. Because the building was under construction, the crew had more freedom to create large explosions, film intense, shootouts, and stage dramatic stunts without worrying about damaging finished property. Fox Plaza later became an iconic part of film history. It is now instantly recognized as Nakatomi Plaza by fans around the world. And surprisingly, the idea for that setting came from somewhere even stranger. Number 6. The entire movie was the result of a nightmare. Die Hard did not start as a movie script. Its roots go back to a novel. But even that novel came from something unexpected, a dream sparked by another film. Roderick Thorpe, the author of Nothing Lasts Forever, got the idea after watching The Towering Inferno. After seeing it, Roderick had a vivid dream. In it, he saw a man being chased through a tall building by men with guns. That single dream stuck with him. He used it as the basis for Nothing Lasts Forever, a sequel to The Detective. Years later, Nothing Lasts Forever became the source material for Die Hard. Without The Towering Inferno, Die Hard might never have existed. Still, not everything about the film's origin is what fans think. Number 5. Die Hard was never a Commando sequel. There's a repeated myth about Die Hard that it started as a sequel to Commando, the action film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. But according to screenwriter Steven D'Souza, who wrote both movies, that story is not true. Steven confirmed that a Commando 2 script did exist at one point. However, the idea had nothing to do with Die Hard. The only similarity between the two films is that they both take place in large buildings. That is where the comparisons end. While it is easy to see why fans made the connection, especially since both films are packed with guns, one-liners, and high-stakes standoffs, Die Hard was never meant to be part of the Commando universe. It was always its own story, and even after the film was made, the studio still wasn't fully confident in it. Number 4. Bruce Willis was not visible on early posters. Bruce Willis was not on the posters when Die Hard was marketed. They didn't trust that audiences would pay to see an action movie starring the comedic actor from Moonlighting. But as Die Hard began to gain attention and positive reviews, the marketing team adjusted. They realized Bruce was becoming a major draw. Later posters and ads featured him more prominently, showing off his role as the wisecracking and fearless cop John McClane. This helped cement Bruce's status as an action star and made Die Hard an even bigger success. But behind the scenes, getting the lead actor into the film was just as unpredictable. Number 3. The unexpected pregnancy. Bruce Willis was asked to star in Die Hard several times before he agreed. Initially, he had to decline the role due to his busy schedule filming Moonlighting. The show demanded most of his time, making it impossible to take on a movie role like Die Hard. Then Bruce's Moonlighting co-star announced she was pregnant. The producers realized they could not write her pregnancy into the show's storyline, so they decided to give the entire cast an 11-week break. This well-timed pregnancy allowed Willis to jump from TV comedy to big-screen action hero. That decision changed everything for him. His role as John McClane launched him into a new kind of stardom, making him one of the most recognizable action stars in Hollywood. Without that break, Die Hard might have had a very different lead. Even the director's involvement almost didn't happen. Number 2. John McTiernan refused to direct the movie. John McTiernan did not immediately jump at the chance to direct Die Hard. In fact, he had passed on the job several times before finally agreeing to take it. The reason was that the story initially felt too dark and cynical for him. The original screenplay was a grim terrorist movie. He wanted to change the tone. He did not want a cold, harsh thriller about terrorism. Instead, he aimed to make it more entertaining and even fun. Thanks to that creative change, Die Hard became the classic action film we know today. Without John McTiernan's willingness to reshape the script might have kept it a grim, less appealing thriller. And yet, despite all those changes, the film still wasn't perfect. Number 1. Plot hole everyone noticed. Die Hard has one of the most obvious continuity errors in action movie history. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. When Hans Gruber's crew arrives at Nakatomi Plaza, they pull up in a large delivery truck. The cargo area is completely empty. You can see straight through to the back doors. Just terrorists, guns, and a whole lot of attitude. At the end, the same truck opens up, and a fully functional ambulance drives out of it. The ambulance escape wasn't in the original script. It got added during rewrites while they were already deep into production. By the time they realized they needed an ambulance inside the truck from the start, it was too late to reshoot the arrival scene. They rolled with it and hoped no one would notice, but everyone did. Are there other weird facts about Die Hard? And which of these facts caught you off guard? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.